The last couple chapters have given Bakugo and Ida both a chance to shine along with the rest of Class 1A, and chapter 323 of My Hero Academia is finally Ochako's chance to shine. She got a little bit of a limelight last week, but this chapter was really her big moment to shine and show how much character growth that she's had. Unfortunately, I did see a meme coming into this chapter that pretty much her entire speech at the end was just a SpongeBob meme whenever Patrick held up SpongeBob when he had the really bad breath, telling everyone to look at him. That pretty much feels like what Ochako did to Deku at the end of this chapter. Obviously, there's a lot more caring and love to it, but the meme's still pretty much there, so I had to deal with it, so I'm sorry you guys do as well. I hope it doesn't ruin the chapter too much. But that aside, chapter 323 was amazing, and it is capping off probably what has been a stretch of some of my favorite chapters, giving everyone in Class 1A a chance to shine, especially with the three people closest to Deku. It's been fantastic. My name is Legend Nimsgren, and before we jump into everything that happened in that single step, chapter 323 of My Hero Academia, if you do enjoy this video or are looking for other My Hero Academia content, make sure to go over to youtube.com/class1a, our YouTube channel, check out all the other My Hero Academia content we do, or if you do enjoy that, make sure to push the like button down below, helps the algorithm find it, leave your comments and thoughts on the chapters as always, and I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I did. But with that, let's jump into chapter 323 and everything that happened. The chapter starts off before Class 1A even went to look for Deku. Ida's talking to Professor Nezu with the rest of Class 1A behind him, saying how can they provide enough evidence to everyone being sheltered at UA that bringing Deku back is going to be a good decision. Because even though UA is protected, bringing back Deku, who is the #1 target of the villains, to an unprotected shelter would be a risk. But he is the biggest valuable asset that the heroes currently have to fight back against Shigaraki and the villains, so he needs to come here. Nezu says that UA is equipped with the best defense technology for that reason, even saying that it's on par with Tartarus. I pretty much am sure that from the description from this chapter, it has to be better than Tartarus, because this sounds so much better prepared from anything that Shigaraki could throw at it than Tartarus ever was. One more reminds Nezu that Shigaraki did destroy Tartarus pretty easily, and Nezu said that after that attack, they actually went through huge preparations to make the school better prepared to deal with Shigaraki and just the villain attacks in general. The reason why Nezu feels so confident that UA can be kind of withstand if they are attacked is that all the different sections of the school are kind of like pieces on a game board, where each one is equipped with mechanism that will be able to transform it into an underground shelter almost immediately, and then all the shelters underground can be moved to wherever they need to go, saying that it's pretty much able to move even all the way over to Shiketsu High, which everyone in the room reacts to how far away that is, so it's clearly a huge and highly developed system that actually Shiketsu put into place to start with after Kami all the way back in season 2, season 3 was impersonated by Toga, so they started making defense kind of ideas all the way back then. In addition to having all of these buildings move around very easily, he's also saying that 3,000 layers of bulwark plate are protecting the underground system for that. So if anything was to start being detected abnormally, they are able to move around, unlock, and kind of protect specifically against Shigaraki's attack that decays everything it touches, to allow these people to get underground safely and away, which is incredible to think how much it is. And I think Kaminari even throws something out there like we're in a giant robot or something like that, and it does feel like that with how sophisticated this is. I mean, this is anime to the max, and I absolutely love it. We then jump back to the present pretty quickly afterwards, to where the civilians are still protesting Deku entering the school by barricading it, yelling at him, saying that they're still not convinced the school security systems are going to be enough to protect them, because they all kind of have an inkling or pretty much know that Deku is who Shigaraki and the villains are after. So by him coming into UA, it is going to put everyone there at danger. President Mike does try to calm them down, but it's not working, so even Best Gina steps in and explains that he was the one that proposed for Deku to return. They explain that yes, Deku is the one that the villains are after, and they're pretty much using him as bait to try and lure the villains out, but the search didn't come up with enough, they weren't able to figure out enough information, so they want to bring him back here so that he can kind of recuperate and get back to his peak condition and go out and continue this battle against it. The people, however, are still not convinced, and some of them even kind of stepping up and having that very anti-hero sentiment, saying that you losers weren't able to do it, and now you're going to make us pay the price for the hero's mistakes, very much showing that hero sentiment that, even though he said last chapter is starting to go away, is still very strong, and people are absolutely scared for their lives, and you can't really blame them. But in this situation, we do see that Deku's danger sense is starting to bubble up, with all the hatred and anxiety starting to be directed almost towards him, and with no one else seemingly listening, Ochako jumps all the way up on top of the UA building with a microphone to start addressing the people that yes, Deku has a special power. But he left the school in the first place to protect everyone here because he knew that he could be attacked at any moment, so by being at UA, he was putting them all in danger. Deku realizes what he is doing and that she begs everyone to take a closer look with the SpongeBob meme, where he wishes to fix everything despite knowing that he'd be attacked at every moment. The sentiment begins to slowly start changing, with people starting to kind of calm down. Even one of the civilians that Deku rescued away back because they thought she was a villain recognizes Deku for helping him, and Ochako declares that despite him having a special power, doesn't mean that he's a special person. And at the same time, Bakugo tells Deku that he and the others will step up to help Deku whenever he can't handle it alone. And then Nezu, also looking up at Ochako, says that that single step is hard to take, but he believes that if it is taken, it'll carve a path for the ultimate hero to stand up, one that can even surpass All Might himself. In this situation, almost looking up at Ochako versus Deku, who we've always seen being that next All Might figure. But the step that Ochako took here is going to put her at her own kind of spotlight and limelight that she wouldn't have got because of her powers, but instead of who she is as a hero. Chapter is absolutely amazing. I mean, I don't know what to say beyond that. Getting goosebumps a little bit just talking about those last couple chapters, even with the meme in mind. I absolutely loved everything that happened in chapter 323, and I'm pretty sure this is pretty much going to end up the recovery arc. I think the civilians may still have some kind of ill will towards having Deku in there. He still might get dirty looks and comments and things such as that, but he's going to be allowed inside of UA. We understand how strong UA is, so it's not going to be a just kind of like, oh, they come next week and just destroy UA. Like, no, they've set up this chapter that it's not going to be that quick of kind of a turnaround that like, oh, now that he's UA, they know where it's all at, the villains are coming from. No, but I do think this chapter set up UA for being an amazing battleground for the final battle, and maybe the villains coming there eventually. Because yes, all the heroes are there. We see all of Class 1A is there. So rather than them going out and finding the villains, just sending everyone underground to a different location and having that final battle at UA because it's My Hero Academia would be such a cool finale. So I do think this is setting up even more now that Deku is going to come back and recover. There'll be a couple chapters of people talking about what's next, what they do know, and then maybe the villains could come knocking and it's going to be that quick. I don't know exactly where it's going, but it's phenomenal that Ochako had her moment to shine here, and that's really what this chapter was about. So I'm sorry if I ruined any of that with the memes, but I really did enjoy this chapter. So I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. If you did enjoy this video, as I said at the beginning, make sure to go over and check out everything else we do over at youtube.com/class1a. I hope you guys enjoy this. I'm looking forward to chapter 324 next Sunday, and make sure to come back and join me then as I break down everything that happens there. See you guys next time.